Jag ger dig 5 sekunder, ja. 5 sek. Great journey, my name is... Är det du som skriver welcome everyone i YouTube, eller? Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to the Great Journey Lunch Talk. My name is Victor, and I will be your host this talk. Helping me today is our technician Björn. Björn, are you with us?
Hello, everyone.
Nice. Glad to hear. Everything's working. If we have any technical issues, you will probably see them soon because it's the first time we do this talk. So keep in mind that some things may happen. Today we have our speaker with us also. It's Eddie Klint. Hi, Eddie.
Hello.
Okay. Hi, Eddie. What are you going to talk about today?
I will talk about making a profit online by the means of doing graphics, but other things as well. And and also give you some other options if you see that, if that's more fitting for you.
Okay, nice to hear. Okay, let's start then. So remember that if you have any questions or anything you want to ask Eddie, just write them down in the YouTube chat and we will take them after the talk. So Eddie, the word is yours.
Thank you. So I will start off with talking a bit briefly about myself. I won't go through that for too long because you probably don't want to hear that. You want to hear me talking about Fiverr and you making a profit. So I'm just going to switch to my presentation. Should be working now. So yeah, making a profit from your art online, Fiverr, with me, obviously. So who am I, you might be asking? I'm a self-taught graphic designer. I've been doing graphics for about roughly 6 years. I started late after high school, and I've been doing art like on and off digitally until now. I'm also an indie game developer student at The Great Journey, and I'm currently having my internship at Agra Games. And for the most part, I work with making concepts for logos, something that the 3D modeler might want to make, and so on. And also I do graphic freelancing online. So I take requests, I take commissions, and so on. So what's Fiverr? Fiverr is an online marketplace for freelancers, and you are able to offer your service and expertise to other people that might ask or seek for them, and you create gigs, as they are called. And I'm going to go on further on with what the gig is. So you can make, or you can offer the service of making art, music. You might be making videos, animations, even voice acting, other type of acting, coaching, reviewing even. So there are a lot of things to look for. So anything, if you're able to play the guitar or make art or make videos or just talk with people, you can sign up on Fiverr and people probably ask for your service. So in the short term, I will call Fiverr the Silk Road of online creators or freelancers. So this is a quick example of what a site on Fiverr looks like. This is a seller. I don't think I can see the name, but this is briefly what it looks like. So you have the tabs up here, the top, you have the overview, and a very eye-catching title, which is very important to have, and so on. And this specific seller is selling posters for a very reasonable price, I would say. I will probably tell him to rack up the prices a bit more because that's just extremely cheap. You also have other options which might not be as not creative, but yeah, professional maybe. But this seller, he's been doing good actually. And yeah, you also have way more silly options. So there's basically anything from art to just sketches and so on. So starting your business, what's most important, at least on Fiverr, but this goes for every other website as well that I will talk about. It's create your profile, explaining to your buyers who you are, be honest about who you are. So I would recommend you to have a profile picture of yourself and not like an icon or art. You could do that, but they want it to be more of a face-to-face encounter, even if they might talk to you physically, at least seeing your face and talking with you through DMs or whatever means you communicate with. That's important, right? So a good title, who are you, and the viewer is able to see you. And then talk about your expertise. Are you a major? Are you an expert? Do you have like a master degree in something? Are you just starting doing graphics? Are you a beginner per se? So make sure to make that clear. And if you have, if you are a master, obviously you should tell them and explain why that's so. Have you been teaching before or something like that? Then what are you offering? Are you offering lessons, reviews, art about what you're selling? And at what price? It could be anything from a couple of bucks to a couple of thousand, depends on what you are selling and what your expertise is. So I think the median range between gigs that you can buy on Fiverr is roughly around $5 to $1,000, I believe. And also your delivery days. So will it take you a couple of hours to finish the product, or a couple of days, months? That's up to you. Take the time you need. So what other options do you have then? Besides Fiverr, you have Patreon, which is a monthly subscription service where you get and I would say the pro with Patreon is just you have a consistent income. You get cash from people that subscribe to you monthly. But the con with it is that it usually requires a bigger following, so you won't rack up a big amount of money in a short amount of time if you don't have, let's say, 200 people or 500 people or 1,000 people following you, because they might only pledge $1 every month, and that's barely anything, right? You also have Twitter, which is commission-based usually, so you can set your own prices just like you can on Fiverr, and you can decide your own working pace just like on Fiverr. But the thing is that you have a big competition ahead of you. There are a lot of people that commissions on Twitter. So that's why I would say Fiverr is the more viable option, if anything. You also have DeviantArt, which is also a source where you can take commissions. And same thing with Twitter. You can set your own price, you can design your own working pace, and so on. But the big difference between Twitter and DeviantArt is that you have to scrape the bottom of the barrel, which means there are a lot of people who don't have that much money or a high income on Twitter compared to on DeviantArt compared to Twitter. And you might not be able to pick what type of commissions you want, so they could request anything, and I mean anything, on DeviantArt. So I will recommend Twitter over DeviantArt, but DeviantArt is, if you want a quick buck, yeah, sure, DeviantArt works. You have Coffee or Twitch, which is donation-based. The only difference is that you have to stream while taking donations on Twitch. You don't have to do that Coffee. You get directly payment to your account by just donations. Yeah, you will live on generosity from people. You won't offer something in return. They are just giving you money because they think you do good stuff. Yeah. You have GoFundMe, which is a donation page also. It's if you want to get support for a bigger project, but as before, it's a big competition and you have to live on people's generosity. But it works. So let's say you're making a book, or you're making a game, or you're making this big project. Go to GoFundMe and you might get some support, hopefully. You also have the option of making an online shop. If you're selling t-shirts, or if you're selling your book also, or art, or posters, or anything, you can do that. You can earn a big income from it. But also you need a big following. You need to advertise, and the people that are running the site, they might take a cut, let's say 5% from every purchase. That's also something to remember. And you have the last option that I included, which is conventions. So people can buy a physical product from you. And you will earn a big following from it, hopefully, if you do a good job. Not that much money. I would recommend doing something else besides conventions. But yeah, if you have a big following from before, people will obviously come and visit and buy things from you. But yeah, you can either gain or you can lose a bigger following. it's a very gray zone when it comes to conventions. I would only recommend people that are doing it for fun and barely have any followers, or two, you have a really big following and people know for a fact you will come to the convention. So yeah, those are the options besides Fiverr you could go with. But let's go on to Fiverr instead. Just making sure it works, and I think it works, yeah. So this is Fiverr. I'm not going to start off at the very beginning where you create your account. It's just you posting your email and receiving like this request code where you resign and you create your password and your name, basic stuff. But yeah, I made a new account recently just to show up. So this is my account, which is open. I'm online, indicated by the green dot at the upper corner. And here you can see some details about me. I haven't added this line. What's your story in one line? It's a brief take on yourself, or why you started doing graphics, or if you started doing music, or yeah. You can also go to preview public mode. I can do that quickly. So here you have this one. This is what it looks like for people that visit my site. The other one was only for me. So yeah, my gigs, as I mentioned before. What's a gig? It's like a band playing music. They're doing a gig, so you will post a request or telling people I'm doing art, like I've done here. I've said I will, and it's starting at 105 crowns, Swedish crowns. But those it's going to also rack up because you have different options to choose from. But I will show you that as well. Where I'm from, get a quote. Yeah, when I got this account. A short description of me. It has to be at least 360 words or something, 300 words, I believe. So just, yeah, hello, I work partly as a graphic designer online. I study at The Great Journey. General artist, I mainly do UI. I do like the concepts and such. So just talk about yourself and what you're doing, what you like doing. Not too much about like your hobbies. I don't think people care too much if you like, if it's important to your craft, then include it. But otherwise, try and keep it. Yeah. So yeah, you can also include the language. I've included 3 ones. You also have the skill tests, which is a bit questionable. So just to verify that you know, let's say, basic English or basic Swedish or basic Spanish. There's also things for like Photoshop, Illustrator, other video programs, marketing. I haven't tried all of them, but it's an option. But even if you pass the skill test, it doesn't mean that you're a master just because you score a perfect 10. It's just a simple test online. You can also link your accounts. I've linked my Twitter, but you have Facebook or LinkedIn or what other sites you use. Then you have the skills, where you include tags, and you can also include at what level you are. So if you're a beginner, if you're a master, if you've been doing it for a couple of years, and so on. And I've included like conceptual art, logo design. You can't see the my master grade at them, but you can see them later on. So that's also an option. So let's go to my gig. So you can see that one. I haven't actually shared my gig on Twitter or something yet. I will do that. This is a tag I picked at the very beginning. So it's a graphic design other section. And you can see what it looks like briefly. I will create a new one with you just to explain everything from there. But this is what it looks like when it's done. So yeah, here are the options you can pick from: basic, standard, premium, and you can name them as well. And you can also obviously add it to your gig. It's not going to stick to, or it's not going to be uneditable once you post it. Let's go back to Fiverr for the dashboard. Okay, yeah. And I've received a message because I made a pledge. Let's do this. Yeah, but I will also explain to you what the buyer will see once they go to the site, because not every person who uses Fiverr will be a seller. They might also be a buyer. It says here, hello, Eddie Klint, get offers on sellers from your project. And you can post a request. And what's a request? It's you asking for a service. So what are you looking for? I might be looking for, let's say, I want a logo. Well, let's say I want a cute logo and cheap. Just keeping it very short, and I can attach a file. Yes, as an example, like this one. Cross category. It's graphic and design. Select subcategory. Let's say I want a logo, and select style. I would like to go with hand drawn. And when do I want to receive it? What's the time span? Let's say I would like to receive my request in 3 days. And what's your budget? I will probably be able to pay 200 crowns for it. You can also convert to USD if that's something you need. So you can do that. It's 18.99. Submit a request. No, please enter at least 20 characters. Okay. Submit request. So now they are giving me options. I haven't received, like I have in my message box from this person. He's been offering me his service. He saw my my request, and he's pledged his service to me. So it's a direct service that he have sent me. But this is options that Fiverr is giving me. So you have these people. You can scroll down. You can see a lot of them basically. Yeah, that's it. And as I said, you can see messages, so on. You also have Fiverr Pro, which I'm not able to go to, but it's for you that want to have, if you want to apply for a service from someone that's a professional or that have that are pro verified on the site. But these people will, for the most part, be very expensive. They are mostly for companies. But yeah, you have that option as well. And you can get pro verified as well. We also have this new option, which is Fiverr for Business, which is if you have a company. It's also a thing. I haven't tried it because I don't have a company myself, but it's an option. I'm just making sure if I haven't received a message. Okay. Yeah, you can join the Fiverr for Business. You can just try it quickly. Full name, what's your email for the business, what are you doing, and yeah. So you have that as an option if you're more than one person, because this is mainly for a single person freelancing. It's not for multiple people, but it works as a business then. But then you have to follow other terms and laws that they have. Yeah, I can probably go to this guy that sent me a message, see if he has something that he has said to me. I think it might be this guy, yeah. So he's offering me, and you can see his terms, delivery days, and he has unlimited revisions, which is if I have something I would like to imply about the design once it's finished, you can make a revision. So you know, I'm actually not happy with the design. You can if he has, like, let's say 3 revisions, you can send the product back, and he will add whatever your request is. But he's on unlimited, so he will work on the logo until you're satisfied. We can go back. We can go to switch to selling, and we can create a gig. This is just advertisements for a course if you'd like to take that for marketing and such, which is also good. I haven't tried it, but it's an option. So I already have my very first gig, but we are making a new one. So it's in this tab, gigs, and just create a new one. You won't have any once you've started making, your Fiverr site. So the title will always start with "I will." You can't change that, and then you type what you would like to include. And as I said before, a striking title is a good title. It's good for marketing, and it's good for you because you will earn more money. So I will be making, let's say, dogs that dresses up in clothing. Let's be more specific. I will draw amazing dogs that dresses up in clothing. And category, I'm a graphic designer, so I will go with graphics, but you have business, lifestyle, programming, music, audio, video animation, writing, translation, digital marketing. And you have subcategories as well. But yeah, me, I'm a graphic designer, so I will go with graphic design. Take my subcategory. So then you have the logo design, brand style guides, game design. I think there's also game writer. So if you make stories or you're into world building, that's also an option. Yeah. But I think it's in writing and translation, and there you have game writer. But I'm going to go with logo design. So what type of logo am I making? I'm making suggest other. I will be doing a hand-drawn one. So I'm making hand-drawn logos of amazing dogs dressed up in clothing. I think that should be fine. Search tags. I can add dog as a tag. I can add cute as a tag. I can add logo. And I can add chibi, because that's often a term that people search for. See if it works. Save and continue. And it's been saved. You will first be met by a video, just a person explaining briefly how it works, but I will do that for you. So this is the scope and pricing. I'm making 3 packages, so they have 3 options to choose from, which is the basic, the standard, and premium, and usually it racks up from the lowest price to the highest one, going from basic, standard, premium, not the other way around. So I will name my basic one just basic, or let's call it sketch. And I will offer the person a sketch, or a simple sketch. Simple sketch, no color, simple. And the original PSD file. So I will hand them my Photoshop file, basically. You don't have to do that. You can just offer them like a high-res PGN file if you want to do that as well. My delivery time, I will do that in 1 day, hopefully. Revisions, how many times are they able to ask me to remake something? Since it's a sketch, I usually put it at unlimited. It's very simple. It's just a quick change. It's just very easy to do. Initial concepts included. Yeah, if you want to include multiple logo design and concepts and such, let's have it at 1. Source file. Do they get the original PSD file? As I stated before, yeah, they do. Logo transparency. If they are getting a PNG file, you are fine with that if you don't have a background. So yeah, sure, they do get that as well. It will be high resolution. It won't be a 3D mockup. Stationary design. Yeah, sure. If you're making like a logo for a business card or something like that. Social media kit will be working for like a banner and such. Maybe, not really, but sure. And yeah, the vector as well. No, I won't include the vector. So my price, where does it start off to? I will do it for $5 minimum. Then you have the add extra services. Are you doing it extra? Are you able to do the service extra fast if you get more, like a higher pay or an additional revision? Can they buy extra add-ons for it? Sure, they can get an extra fast delivery. They can get it. I currently have it on 1 day, so that will mean they get it in 0 days. Let's take 2 days. They get it 1 day earlier if they pledge $5 more. And I have my revisions at unlimited, so it doesn't really matter if I change that. Then you have the other things as well, like do you have to pay for a high resolution? I wouldn't recommend doing that, but sure, you can do as you please. Then you have the standard one, which is it's a sketch, but also I will rank up, so I will be doing line art and flat color. And what does it include? As stated above, so you get the sketch, and the sketch. You get the line art and flat color of the logo, but also the sketch. So you get the basic package included with the standard package. It's the same thing, it's just a level up in a way. I can do that in 3 days. Revisions will still be at unlimited. Let's take this one at 1, same options. And I will really recommend you, once you go to line art, if you do line art or flat color, do rack up the prices a bit more. Like don't add like $5 or something, because it's a big gap between making a sketch and making line art and flat color. That's a bit more effort than just making a sketch. So we're putting it at 20. And same thing as before. Delivery days, I can do it in 1 day more. Same thing, rack up the price, please. Let's say $10, or let's say $15. Yeah, basically the same thing as the standard one, just line art and flat color. Then we have the cherry in the top, the premium service. This is the line art, flat color, or let's call it full illustration, or like full logo. Full logo. It's the finished logo, shaded, sketch, and line art. Yeah, sketch and line art. File, you can call it, included. File included. Delivery time, same thing. Let's put it at 5 days. Depends on how fast you work. Can you go from making flat color to like shading in 2 days? We can put the revisions at 2 this time around because it's a more complicated service. Let's keep the content one at 1 still. Same options as before. Let's change the price. So we had 5 before, 20 now, and this is the full finished logo. I'm going to say 45 seems reasonable for a full logo. And we have the extra fast delivery. We're doing it in 2 days. Let's take 25 because it's a lot of work doing it in that. It's such a short time span. But yeah, revision. Would you like one more? Then it's, let's say, $10. And you get 1 more day. Additional logo concept mockup, Victor file. Yes, seems good. And this is the basis of setting up commissions in general. Like even if you're on Twitter or DeviantArt or wherever you're taking commissions at, do it like this. Take up 3 options. I think you also have that on Patreon as well. Just the basic, standard, and premium options that people can pick from. But you can make like multiple ones, so it can be like one rank that's $1 and you get the sketch, and 2, which is something else, and yeah, so on. But I think we're done, so you can also add your own extra gig if you want to do that. But I think we're done, so let's continue. Description: briefly describe your gig. As the title implied, I am making cute dogs that are dressed up in clothing as logos. I can deliver the product fast and in high quality. Not really recommended you to keep it this basic, but it works. Should be at least 120 characters. I don't think this is 120 characters. Let's do this. You can also change the font, and if you want tabs or just number everything, it works as well. Frequently asked questions. What's something common that someone might be asking? You can try that one out. Add a question. This is the example. Do you translate to English as well? If you're a game writer, let's say. Yeah, you do. But that's the question. Let's say, can you make cats too? Then my answer would be, yes, I can. So then the most common question would be, can you make cats too that are dressed up in clothing? The answer is, yes, I can. So tell your buyer what you need to get started. What do you need? Do you need like a mood board? Do you need just a couple of lines explaining what they would like the logo to look like, or what type of dog, what type of breed, what type of clothing? Make sure to include that. You could also just say, oh, make sure to message me and we can just talk about the work before I start. Basically, it works as well. But let's say, I want to know what type of dog it is and what clothing it will wear. Please. Yeah, just keeping it very simple. That's what I need. But maybe also a mood board, perhaps. You can also add more. You must add at least one requirement. Oh no. Oh, come on. Really? Okay. Question, yes. Strong requirements. Structure, blah, blah, blah. Question, I want to know what requirements. Answer is mandatory, multiple answers, free texts. Okay. Cancel. No, I don't have a rec.
Maybe press the add button, Eddie.
Yeah, I've tried. Okay, never mind, it works. No, I don't have request. Okay. Add your answer. Yes. No, okay. So yeah, that's just a file, I think. I'm a little bit rusty. It happens. Usually I don't add a requirement. Usually I usually talk with the buyer. Build your gig gallery. I don't have a photo of a dog right now. I could go with the one I had. That's not my picture, unfortunately, so I can't use that one. But it's the same thing. You have these 3 squares. So make sure to have the basic one, the standard one, and the premium one. Usually that's how it works. But you can also add more pictures. If you have these gig photos, I can only with three of them. So I would recommend, if you have the 3 options where they can pick from, have the standard 1 picture for the sketch, 1 picture for the flat and line of the same image as well. Just recommending that for you. And then the full illustration or the full finished logo. You can also add a video if you're playing the guitar or making music or such, works as well. Just drag it in there and it's done. You can also include the PDF file, also an option, not going to do that. I declare that this was made by me, I haven't added anything, but yeah, it's all made by me, all nothing. I had to add at least one image. Okay, let's add something I've done. Let's take the card I made. Yes, that's fine. You're happy with that? Let's save and continue. And you're done, so publish. And it's live, it's done. You have your very first gig, so you can post it on Facebook or Twitter or wherever you like to post it. You can also level up the gig by taking classes like before. So now I should have 2 gigs, yeah. And you can see the stats for them. Like my very first one had 1 view, it has 1 click, doesn't have anything else, but this is the new one. So you can see the stats for it. Delivery time will be 5 days. Orders in queue 0, so there haven't been anyone pledging for it just yet. Communication with seller, they like the people giving you ratings. My current status, is it still ongoing? Is it currently offline? Am I not taking this type of request right now? You can also remove them by just unchecking and delete. And you can also have the watermark for copyright purposes, which most sites have, at least from what I know about, at least on Twitter, but I know DeviantArt, Fiverr, Coffee has it. Yeah, let's remove that one. We can just go to the gig we just created. Active pending approval. Yeah. Let's go to profile again. And you can see this one. It appears on my site. We can also go to the public mode view. And this is what it looks like. So you can see both of my gigs I have currently. This is the one we recently created. So this is what it looks like. We have the picture, we have the very striking title, we have the details about the basic pack you can buy, the standard one, the premium, the price, what it includes, how much time it takes, the amount of revisions you can have, and such. So you can just continue, add it to your marketplace, and then yeah, contact the buyer if you want to do that. You can do that just here below before you're making a purchase. Here we have the detailed information about my gig I've created. You have the style or what type of programs I might be using. I'm not using any programs right now. I'm doing it hand-drawn. You have information about the seller, about you. You can also contact you right here, and you can also see your online status. So I'm online currently. So if someone sends me a message or is pledging something, I can see that right away. And you can also see all of the packs. You can compare them, which one is more fitting for you. You can select any of them. You have the fact, so the question, can you make cats as well, dressed in clothing? Yes, I can. And you have the tags, cute, doggo, chibi, and so on. And you can also see further down the other gigs you have going on for you. So I have this one, and I have this one that I recently created. And you can, as I said before, you can still edit the gig if you want to. So going back to buying, just do that up here. So we come back to buying, just to go to profile and see your gigs. It works and it goes back to selling if you do that. I still have my message. No one has pledged a request from me yet, but once they do, it will pop up there. I think that's the very basics of Fiverr, and I think it's all you need to know to get started and start selling online, basically. And as I said before, it's the same premise everywhere on Twitter. Just make like give people like options to choose from, like the standard if they want a sketch or if they want full color or line art. Same premise basically. But I think that's about it really. If you have any other questions, I'm open for it as well. People can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, you can.
Can you change your to your web camera?
Yeah.
All right. Can you see the questions, Victor, or should I take them?
Oh, I see the questions.
You see the questions, right?
Yeah, so I have the chat over here. Currently, there are no specific questions. So if you have any, just post them now and I can read them. We can start. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So how does it come to payments? Do they pay from the site? Do they pay some other way?
You will earn Fiverr points or Fiverr cash. It's almost like, I wouldn't say Bitcoin, but it's the type of cash they use, but you can take those out and convert them into USD. So everything will be saved. It's almost like PayPal. They have their own system of paying. So you still have the cash, but it's saved on the site itself. So you will have to convert them later on.
Okay.
They won't go directly to your credit card or bank account if you don't convert them.
How often do you get commissions?
I'm usually not using Fiverr, but it happens from people I know. Usually it's maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. It really depends. I don't really mark myself too much, and I like taking my time. Yeah, whenever I can and people are interested, I do take commissions.
Right, it seems that we have questions from the YouTube chat. So first off, Albin is asking, is it important to define your niche, or can you be rather broad in what you deliver as an artist?
I would say it depends on your expertise and what you're doing. So if you're extra good at something, let's say you're making cars, I would highly recommend you to focus on that. But Fiverr is just very user friendly. So even if you're a beginner at something, like pixel art per se, you can still post that as an option for people to like buy that service from you. There's nothing wrong with being a beginner and selling a service. You can do that.
Right, we have a couple more questions. Let's say you are a very well-educated designer, but it's your first time trying out to sell your art online. Does that mean that you can instantly raise the price or start low to get a following?
If you have a product to preview to the people buying the service, if you have a really good illustration and people know for a fact, oh, that's you made that one, then sure, it works. But people won't really know about your existence from the very get-go. So skill doesn't have to be the most important thing to put yourself out on the market. You have to advertise yourself. And I will, for the most part, say start low, but not too low that you get taken advantage of, because that's also very, very common.
Right, next question. What do you think about art merchandise platforms like Redbubble and Sassily?
I included Redbubble as a logo in the online shopping tab that I talked about briefly. I think Redbubble is good for most creators, even if you are, let's say, a YouTuber or you're a streamer or something. So I think it's very useful. It's just that when you go to Redbubble, you are looking for a specific creator. They aren't really advertising for you. So even if people search for a hoodie or whatever, they might not find your product. You have to advertise yourself still.
Right, we have 2 more questions. Or 3 actually. Or 4. Right, how does it work with actually getting the money? Does Fiverr take a commission?
I think they take a very small commission. I'm not too sure, but it's a couple of percentage, I think. Maybe, I wouldn't say more than 5, but not less than 0.05 percentage, the payment. But I can't say for sure, but they don't take that much.
Alright, I think that was all the questions that we have time for. Victor, do
Okay.
you want to say some final words?
Yeah, I think the message box like did disappear for me, so I can see the questions now. But yeah, but thank you so much, Eddie, for the talk.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I will remember that in 2 weeks we will have another lunch talk. More info on that will be posted on Facebook and on Discord. And we will have our digital meetup today at 5 p.m. It's open for everyone to join. And today we're going to talk about giving feedback to each other's work and to like discuss your artistry or game design stuff. And there will also be a link on Discord for the next event, and you can learn more info on www.thegreatjourney.se. Okay, so that's all for us.
Yeah, and don't forget to join the Discord server. And not to forget to like and subscribe. We need to get over 100 subscribers. That's our goal, so please subscribe. Alright, I think that's all from us. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.